How many people do you know who struggle with their health? Chances are, whether they show it or not, most of the people in your life do. And chances are, you're one of them. Whether you're dealing with anxiety, depression, endometriosis, acne, eczema, autoimmune, thyroid, Lyme, brain fog, fatigue, or any other symptom or condition, you're far from alone. Living with symptoms has become the new normal. So no more guessing games. It's time to get answers. Welcome to the Medical Medium Podcast. I'm Anthony William. We're talking about the new Medical Medium original audio, Angels, Demons, and Spiritual Tools, which you can find on Amazon Audible, Apple, and Spotify. Many people are afraid of the word demon. They feel the word itself is something they should stay away from. Meanwhile, without realizing it, it's possible demons play a role in their life, even play a role in their decisions, playing a role in their own free will, interfering with their own choice making. Empowerment comes with knowledge, understanding not only this physical realm, but the spiritual realm around us. And when you have a grasp on it and know what's going on, and you're not tricked and you're not duped anymore, it's a game changer. Everything changes. Darkness doesn't want you to know about darkness. Negativity, negative energy, negative forces, demonic forces do not want you to know they exist, even when terrible things are happening in the world, or something bad happens to a friend or somebody you know. Darkness still doesn't want you to know that darkness has anything to do with it, or anything to do with anything. Fasten your seatbelts, get some lemon balm tea, strap yourself in for this one. Make sure you're sitting down. We're talking about our demons running your life. Wow, thanks for meeting me out here. Yeah, I like this coffee shop. It's a great place. Definitely you can order what you want here. It's like crazy. They got everything here. Sit down, talk to me. What's happening lately? Your parents? They're getting a divorce? What do you mean, really? I thought they were really happy. Oh God, that's crazy. What else is going on? What else is happening? You got hit from behind last week? What do you mean hit from behind? A car? Wow. Are you okay? The car's mangled? Somebody was playing with their phone and then they just didn't look and they just ran into you? Oh, they were drunk? Oh God, that's awful. What do you mean your friend? What does your friend have to do? Oh, your friend texted you the other day? What'd they say? Something terrible? Let me see that thread. You are an at, there's a whole bunch of question marks there, so I'm assuming that's what, whole? And you didn't bring back the thing that you borrowed. And I can't stand you anymore, and we're not friends anymore. Goodbye. What is this? Why is he even saying this? But you did bring back the leaf blower, so you brought it back. And then what? He's still saying this? He gets like this all the time? Okay. Oh, his girlfriend broke up with him? Okay. Why, she cheated on him? Wait, he cheated on her? And then she cheated on him? And then he cheated on her? Wait, I'm lost now. Who cheated on who first and why? Can I ask you something? Why do you have a bandage on your face? Is that from the car accident? No? That's from falling on your face? When? You fell on your face? You were just walking along and you just tripped and fell on your face. But it wasn't your fault. You were doing fine, you were walking fine, and what happened? It just magically happened, you just fell on your face. You just lost your footing? You felt like you were pushed? What happened? Excuse me, can I get a coffee and a muffin? What do you want? People lose faith because they see things go wrong. They lose faith in God. They lose faith in humanity. They lose faith in anything good in the universe. They lose faith in themselves. They lose faith in others. They lose faith in life itself. And a lot of people are suffering out there, and they don't understand why horrible things are happening in their lives. They don't understand why horrible things are occurring out there in the world. They see terrible things happen all the time. Why people are dying early. why bombs are going off, why wars continue to start. A lot of terrible things are occurring, and people are distraught. It's hurting their heads. Many don't believe people are actually evil. Instead, they think that everybody has good in them and that people are just misguided. People also believe that accidents just happen. And many times accidents do just happen. But many times they just don't happen. Something happens to make them happen. And there are accidents that are terrifying, where people lose their lives. You see it out there all the time. It's not a rarity. It's something you see in the news, something you see out there in the media, where how did these people burn up alive in a car? How come they just couldn't get out of the car? What happened? Or how did that person run themselves over? They were getting out of the car, it rolled backwards, dragged them along the way, ran over them. But how? They weren't looking for that to happen that day. Everybody was happy. Things were going good. How is this possible? They woke up that morning, they took a shower, brushed their teeth, they had a bagel, they had a drink of orange juice. An hour later, they were dead. They were run over by their own car. A freak accident. And why do we make choices that aren't the best for us? How does that work? Someone's young, they're in college, they're drinking too much, they get alcohol poisoning. They leave the party or they leave the bar. They're walking down the street talking to themselves. They're walking around aimlessly. They walk down a different street. Cameras last see them here, cameras last see them there. They disappear. Nobody could find them. 20 days later, they're found in a river. Nothing makes sense whatsoever. There was no reason for it. And what about relationships gone wrong? Toxic relationships. But why are they toxic to begin with? Is it just baggage? Is it old hurt, old wounds? And where did that old hurt and old wounds derive from? Where did they come from? Why are they there? Was there any kind of other influence involved? And why do people do dark things? Dark things. Things that aren't good for them. Things that aren't good for others around them. Things that were premeditated. Things that were spontaneous. Things that were hurtful, but they didn't really mean it. And then there's people out there that hurt others that mean it. What is this all about? So many people out there live in a bubble where the thought of darkness existing is only meant for the movies, for television. They believe when things happen to people in real life, they brought it upon themselves. They caused it. And for those that believe this kind of thing, that when bad things happen to people, they caused it and brought it upon themselves, maybe the worst they've ever experienced so far in life was a girlfriend or a boyfriend cheating on them. And that was it. Or a family member that they didn't get along good with. Well, these things can still cause injuries and not be great. People think that darkness plays no role in any of it. That it just happened because people are people. And yes, people can be people. But there is something to be said. That darkness is involved with so many issues. Toxic relationships. Darkness can be involved. And it doesn't mean that the people in the relationship are bad, but they could be influenced. Yes, influenced by dark, fallen beings, demonic beings, inherently involved in so many of their issues. And to the people that live in a bubble, the thought of demonic and fallen beings inherently involved in so many of the world's problems seems way, way overreaching and totally not any kind of reality. You would think humans would be elevated at this point, at a place in time and history where we know that hate and destruction and war is not productive. And you would think at this point in time in history, people would actually not do terrible things. That institutions wouldn't do terrible things. Countries wouldn't do terrible things. You would think that everybody would just get along and everybody would try to make good things happen only. But how come it doesn't work that way? Why are we witnessing so much constant chaos and destruction and wrongful death? Why in our everyday lives do we experience so many heartaches? So much red tape that thwarts our dreams? And why are there so many unstable people out there? People that create nothing but static and confusion. Some people that like creating confusion. Some people that just don't know they're creating that much confusion. Why do people who work so hard at manifestation still get foiled, still get thrown off their path? When you hear the word demon, how do you feel? What kind of reactions do you have? What kind of reactions do other people have? For some people, they just don't like the sound of the word. The word itself scares them. For some people, it gives them a creepy, crawly sensation, a funny feeling. For some people, they're worried, they're superstitious. They think it's dangerous to say the word demon, and they think they're bringing it to them. Just saying the word itself, that's a problem. Maybe they're going to bring a demon to them to cause problems. And then there's folklore, demon stories out there, demon stories in films, demons in film, seance boards. The idea, if you actually talk about something, you bring it to yourself. If you entertain the idea, you bring it upon yourself. Now, I'm not here to convince anyone that demons exist. You can believe in demons, or you don't have to believe in demons. They would prefer you don't believe in them. Darkness would prefer you don't believe in darkness. Darkness would rather have the experiences in someone's life that are not agreeable to be blamed on people, blamed even on them, or maybe happenstance, or freak accidents, instead of anybody thinking about the possibility that demonic forces exist. If someone avoids thinking about demons, does that protect them? Are you more susceptible to demons when you focus on them being real? Is it unhealthy to think about the possibility of demons being real? No, it's not. This isn't like Beetlejuice, where if you say demons 3 times, you're in trouble. Dark forces out there are at play no matter what. They're at play out there. And you can witness these dark forces. You can see it out there every day. If not in your own personal life, you can witness what's happening with planetary politics, earthly destruction, and throughout the decades, lots of innocent people dying. Then there are the constant cover-ups out there, so the darkness can be hidden and the truth doesn't show. Many cover-ups that the light never shines upon, and some that surface over time. Demonic forces play a role in it all. They're always trying to tempt people, to mess with people's heads, and many people carry one or even multiple demons around them, or with them, or sometimes in them. People who suffer from addiction issues can be taunted by demons, even long after an addiction has been healed, conquered, or defeated. The person who defeated that addiction, who won over that addiction and moved forward, still can be taunted every now and then, still can be teased every now and then, still feel an urge every now and then on an emotional level. And when they overpowered that addiction with their free will, they overpowered that demon, the demon's influence, the darkness's influence. They overpowered it. Doesn't mean the demon won't come along one day when they're at a weak moment, when they've been chipped away, when they've been beaten down by something, by some other demonic force in some industry out there, some institution out there, some worldly government out there, or just somebody in the relationship with them that has demons in some form, shape, or in some way. And that demon starts to chip away at them, starts to tempt them when they're in their darkest hour for the moment, or when they're at a weak point, reminding them, hey, go back to your addiction. I'm here to tell you, once you listen to medical medium, angels, demons, and spiritual tools, you're going to understand the forces at work in our lives and other people's lives around you and the world like never before. And you're going to understand how to regain your power and draw on something called spiritual lights of free will, the 16 spiritual lights of free will, to help protect yourself and your loved ones. And one of these spiritual lights of free will involves the word checkmate. In order to regain your power It's important to understand the realm that's very rarely seen by the eyes. To have your eyes open and truly see. To understand demonic forces is to understand injustice and wrong and sabotage and deception and trickery. It is to understand how to start putting safeguards in place in your life to protect you. To understand demonic forces is to understand the soul, your soul. It is to understand the angelic forces around you and above you and how to come to their aid so we can play our part in stopping demonic forces in their tracks on what they believe is their playing field. If you're someone who's struggling spiritually, it's time to heal. Check out Medical Medium, Angels, Demons, and Spiritual Tools. It's an original audio you can find on Amazon, you can find on Spotify, and Apple. Many blessings, and God bless you. In all these decades, I've been asked about demons, asked about the afterlife, asked about ghosts, asked about spirits, asked about angels, and the most inquiries I get are about demons. What's going on with demons? What's the whole demon thing? How does that work? Are demons even real? Along the way, I would shed some light on fragments of the inner workings of the spiritual realm and what seemed to be meaningless atrocities. Until now, I've been holding back lots of spiritual information because the hands of time had not allowed it. Now, it's finally time for me to put this information out there for anyone to access. I want to offer these answers to everyone. I want to offer these answers to you. To be aware of darkness, you don't have to be obsessed with it. You don't have to think about demons 24/7 or think about their possibility of existing all the time. You don't have to live like that. You can just be aware that when things are going wrong, it's not because of you. It's not your fault. You're not the reason why things are going wrong. There are other things at hand, and that's when we use the light of God. We call upon the angels. We learn how to protect ourselves. We finally become aware, and that awareness is powerful. It's unstoppable. That awareness pushes demons away, helps to conquer demons. That awareness is awareness that God, the angels, are aware of as well. They know about the dark forces. They understand the dark forces. And when you know too, you can finally protect yourself.
Original published medical medium information gets stolen and poached by podcast doctors, social media doctors, influencers, and medical clinics. Medical medium information has never yet been proven wrong by medical science and research. Instead, the opposite, only proven right and then taken from medical medium published material and used in the conventional and alternative health communities. Medical medium information continually sets the stage for medical science to understand chronic illness better. If you choose to share or use the original, unique content from the Medical Medium podcast, books, or Medical Medium social media, please cite where this information comes from, so others who see and learn of this information have a chance to know where it all originates, to give them an opportunity to heal, so they don't end up losing years of their life searching for answers like so many have before them. The Medical Medium information here on this podcast doesn't come from broken science, interest groups, medical funding with strings attached, botched research, lobbyists, internal kickbacks, persuaded belief systems, private panels of influencers, health field payoffs, trendy traps, or gathered bits and pieces of gimmicky confusion. Because chronic illness is exploding like never before in our modern day history, it takes a greater force than us down here. It takes a helping hand from above. Medical medium information has street cred. It's an organic movement of countless people around the world healing. More healing stories of real people not being paid to tell their life-changing experiences of rising out of the ashes of sickness and entering into the light of full recovery, getting their lives back and finally healing when nothing else in the world of health could move the needle and get them better. The information on this podcast is not man-made. It comes from above, from a higher source. Whatever you believe in, whether God, the universe, the light, or the creator, or if you believe in nothing at all, that we're just floating through space together on this rock. Know that the information you hear on this podcast is separate from all the other noise out there. It comes from a different place, a pure, untampered with, advanced, clean, uncorrupted, original, primary source, a higher source, spirit of compassion.